Hello, everyone. Let's continue with creating even more tiers. Now, in this video, I will explain how to create one more tier in the two more tiers. Imagine that I want to create now tiers for the location of the sign, which might be an important information. So for the location, again, I will be thinking for each hand, so the location left hand and the location right hand. It means that I will be creating two more tiers. But when I think about the tier structure, I want these two tiers to be the child tiers of left hand and the right hand respectively. So the same as we did for the hand shape left hand and the hand shape right hand. But this time, I want to create some controlled vocabularies. So far, I have been filling in the annotation within the text box that opens for each tier manually. And this is usually what we do. But for certain type of information, for example, location information, you can create a restricted set of items or the values that you can repeatedly use for each annotation. Location can be a good example. For example, imagine that there are kind of 4 locations in my mind for my annotation. So I'm interested in 4 locations in these lexical signs. So it can be neutral signing space, it can be on the body, on the head, or on the non-dominant hand, or it can be another location, okay? So it means that these two tiers will have a controlled vocabulary and also will have parent tiers. It means that I have to think about, the hierarchical structure beforehand. As you know, if we are talking about parent tiers, we start with the type. We start creating the types. But in this specific example, we also want to create the controlled vocabulary. And for this reason, I go to edit. I go to edit controlled vocabularies because I want to create a list for controlled vocabulary. And the controlled vocabulary name, let's call it location. And I will create one set called location. And I will use this controlled vocabulary list for both the left hand and the right hand, because it will be kind of the common to both. And I do add. Now I have the location controlled vocabulary list. What I need to do is to enter value. And I put my cursor under entry value. So I, for example, write neutral, okay, neutral, and I can write further specification like it is the neutral signing space in front of the signer, but I will skip this right now, and I do add, and I have another value, for example, body, I do add, and I have head, add, hand, add, and other, and I do add, okay? And then it means that now I have a controlled vocabulary for location that includes 5 values, and I do close. Now I go to type because I want to create tier type, and then I will create location for left hand. And then I want to choose time subdivision as the stereotype. And there will be, yes, a controlled vocabulary. I will be using location, and I do add. And I will create another type for the location right hand. The part selected for the previous one will stay. So stereotype will be time subdivision, and the controlled vocabulary will be location, and I do add and close. Now time to create my tiers. So I go to tier, add new tier, tier name will be location left hand. Oops. And then the initials of the participants, name of the annotators, and then the parent tier. I want the left hand to be the parent tier, and the tier type, I should be very careful to choose the location left hand tier type. Otherwise, I will not have controlled vocabulary, okay? And I do add. And I want to create another tier, location tier for right hand. And then I fill in the previous information. The parent tier will be right hand, and the tier type will be location right hand, and I do add and I do close. Now, when I click on the annotation panel for the relevant tier, now I should have a controlled vocabulary, as you see here. For the location left hand, it is in the, for example, neutral space, and I just click on neutral. It means that I don't have to type again and again. And here I have now more tiers with hierarchies and the controlled vocabulary.